Welcome back, everybody, to This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I'm your host, Perry. With me, as he always is, it's the whiskey mutant himself, Eric.
Hello.
What was that?
I don't know.
All right, fair enough. You're just trying something new.
Yeah, always try to keep them guessing.
Keep it fresh. Keep it snapping. Keep going.
Let's go.
We got to just go. You know, we're busy people. We got a lot of things we got to get to. This is a huge episode. We
Wrap
have
to the review. Let's do it.
Whoa.
Too fast?
Too fast.
Sorry.
I got whiplash.
I'm excited.
I am very, very excited for this episode. This is kicking off Bourbon Heritage Month as well.
What month is that?
September.
Oh, yeah.
The month that we're in.
I keep forgetting it's not August anymore.
Yeah, big ass August is over.
Sexy September, baby.
Here we go. Yeah, Bourbon Heritage Month. We have so much stuff that we are getting
moved into my basement. You brought boxes and everything. You look like you just moved in. I didn't say it was a bad thing.
Okay. It's just kind of the tone.
I thought I was getting a brother.
Aw. We're already brothers.
True.
We just don't live in the same house anymore.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
If your mom...
No, I don't want to go through this again. Eric gave me a very weird hypothetical on the pregame chats, and I got a little heated during it. So
make it simple.
Yeah. No, you got to go check it out, though. You can do so by heading over to patreon.com. And at the $5 tier, all of the bonus content that we put out is over there. Not only is there bonus stuff, in addition to the main episode, you get early access to episodes, uncut stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of, it's good. Mm-hmm. It's a fun time. I enjoy it. How about you?
I do. Uncut.
Now that you're making the content.
Yeah.
How have you felt about the content that's on there?
I love it.
Do you think it's improved in quality?
Heck yeah.
Suck it, Swan. I mean, what?
I mean, yeah. You know what I mean. It better have.
Yeah.
I'm still here. I would hope that you would just kick me out if it wasn't any good. If I was doing let me ask you this
I'm too non-confrontational to do that anyway.
Let me ask you a question.
All right.
If your mom said Eric is doing a horrible job.
Has to leave the podcast or you can never come over here again.
Eric's doing a horrible job. You've got to kick him out, or I will do something. I will do something, and you can't have the podcast anymore. What would you do?
I think I could probably just start another podcast under a different name, and she wouldn't know about it. She has the power
to just stop it all. Would you kick me out?
No.
Okay.
Why would I kick you out?
We couldn't do a podcast again.
I'll do a podcast.
No, you can't do any.
I can't do any podcast?
No, she controls.
I can't pivot to like a nerd podcast?
Queen.
Podcast czar?
Yeah.
You know how there's like an alcohol czar for the government? There's a podcast czar.
I would not let you do that. I would remove myself. And I would go to podcast school. And I would get better. And I would come back and I would submit my resume. And I would try out again.
You would want to... Your dream in life is to be the best podcaster in the world.
I would not let you not podcast.
Well, I appreciate that. By the way, for anybody watching the video version, Liquid Death is not a sponsor. We should have put tape over it. So
we're just hoping that one day they will.
Someday. I really want Liquid Death to sponsor the show. We probably should not dilly-dally too much longer.
Oh, yeah, we got to get to this.
We got a lot of stuff we got to get to. Do we have Flying Blind or Sips and Snacks this week?
You do. You said I have Flying Blind.
Did I really? When did I say that?
Let's go to the cameras. Right there.
Oh, I did say I've got Flying Blind for this
right
week.
Before that funny Biden thing. I can Flying Blind you really fast right now.
What was it? I don't even remember what it was.
It's really blind then.
I'm really sorry.
I got it.
Oh boy, I'm excited. I really am. I didn't mean for that to sound sarcastic.
All right. It's in a sample. You can't see it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a teeny tiny boy.
Well, we got a lot to do.
Yeah.
What do you think? Smells good, right?
Cooking spices?
All the spices.
It's really like, and I know it's, for savages, but it kind of smells like oregano.
Oregano. It kind of does. It smells like a big kitchen just being cooked in. There's some savory and there's sweet.
Huh? Whoa, it's weird. Oh, that's weird. It's like, it's got the alcohol sting of like old mouthwash. You know what I mean?
I think it's good.
It's weird. I mean, it's not bad. It's just strange.
I was trying to get something out. Rapid fire. Give me all the guesses, Matt Madness style. What state?
Indiana.
Distillery.
MGP?
Oh yeah, sure. Proof.
115.7.
Age.
4.5.
Ingredients.
It's a rye. So mainly rye.
You pretty much got all that wrong.
Yay!
Well, since we're doing a lot of stuff from Four Roses today, this is a Four Roses single barrel Lincoln Road 2017.
Whoa!
OESO 9-year, and it is 111 proof.
Well, you pretty much sucked on all of that.
So
cool.
Didn't like Dixon and them pick all these Lincoln Road ones too. All right, let's call him up.
No, I don't want to.
Tell him what you thought of his mouthwash.
I don't want to bother him. I didn't say it was bad.
I know. I said, but you called it mouthwash.
I said it had the burn.
I said it could have had the burn.
I thought it was interesting.
Tell him what we're doing. Let's go.
Yeah, so this is a huge episode, by the way. I know we keep saying that. Last week, I said that I was able to pick a box of the 10 recipe tasting kit from Four Roses Up. And, well, you actually picked it up.
Yeah, shout out to them for not even checking anything and just handing it to me.
Yes, you just gave them a name.
Yeah.
So before we review the new big Four Roses release, we are going to taste through all 10 recipes from Four Roses. Here's the way I think we should do this.
Yeah, tell me.
I think
I've been trying to figure this all day, what we're going to do.
Yeah, for the love of God, clue me into something. I think per yeast strain, we'll go with each of those.
Okay.
So like each V, each F, each O, each, yeah.
Got it.
So we'll just go left to right, I suppose.
This is crazy.
It's so cool, man. And the funny thing is, too, when we first saw this TTB label get approved, I was like, there's no way we're ever going to be able to taste these.
The fact that it's all
here we
in
are.
there. The only time people get to do that is if they do like a charity bottle or something, and then they'll let them pick through them all. But so we're going to do little bits of all these.
And they're not.
Are they all the same proof?
Yes, they are all 108 proof.
104.
104. Sorry. All of them come in these little 50 ml sample bottles. I did not realize this, too. They actually have numbered them for which mash bill it is, or which recipe it is. Like, look on the front. So
Recipe 6.
OESV is recipe 6.
BSV is recipe 1.
I just figured it was all like just the recipes they have.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that they numbered them through.
Okay.
So for anybody who doesn't understand what we're talking about here too,
yeah,
there
give them a
are
quick rundown.
10 individual recipes at Four Roses. They used to be the only distillery to do that, but a little orange label company was sourcing from them, and they liked their business model enough that they decided to do it themselves. So, bada bing, bada boom. There are 2 mash bills. One is low rye, one is high rye.
Yeah.
But each of the mash bills, or each of the recipes, uses a different yeast strain. So there's one that's like fruity. There's one that's supposed to be more spicy, more floral. So you get 10 distinct experiences
Yes.
Throughout this. So
the B mash bill is 60% corn, 35% rye, and 5% malted barley. The E mash bill is 75% corn, 20% rye, 5% malted barley.
still a pretty high rye mash bill.
Yes. So the higher rye is the B, and the lower rye is the E.
So before we get into this, what before today has consistently been your favorite Four Roses recipe?
OESO.
Mine is OBSO.
Yes, I love OESO. It is the yeast strain is obviously O, and it's the low rye.
Do you want to start with our favorites then, or do you want to go left to right?
Honestly, let's go right to left.
Okay.
Because then we hit our favorites in the middle, and OBSV is the most popular because it
is the most common,
on the shelf single barrel Four Roses you see, like the 100 proof one is always OBSV, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's start with this side and work our way up.
Okay, cool. While we are pouring these up and getting them ready, why don't we tell you all what we've been drinking recently too? Also, let's figure this out. Consistently, I say we do
B and E.
I was going to do E and B.
I was going to go like alphabetical order, B and E.
Okay, that's fine.
What have I been drinking?
Yeah.
I actually received a bottle as a gift from work, and they gave me the Bardstown Bourbon Company the bottled and bond wheated bourbon.
Yeah.
And I have not opened that bottle because I still have the bottle that we reviewed.
Mm-hmm.
So I went back to it. So good. I was not reaching for that bottle enough because I didn't want to have to buy another one because it's just good. And
now
I have another one. So I was like, yeah, big pour. I also had, I've been on a weeded kick. I did 107, Weller 107, which I love, with the hot pepper, honey, pimento cheese sandwich from Chick-fil-A. You can see that on my Instagram. And so I did that. And then I finished off, I drank like one time this week and, finished it off with the Wilderness Trail 8-year.
By the time this episode comes out, that video will finally be out. I'm sorry it's taken me a long time to get it edited and everything, but very, very positive review for sure of an incredible bourbon. So be on the lookout for that if you haven't seen it already. I got to try something today.
Well, you said, have you looked at our Discord? And I said, I have not. So this is a complete surprise to me.
I got to try the cellar aged.
You know, I stopped at Ernie's to see if they got any. They only got 2.
And they're already gone.
They were gone at 7 a.m. They only got 2.
It hurts.
I know.
It hurts.
I know.
I had this like.
Where did you try this at?
Well, let me back up a little
Back
bit and tell some of the story, because I felt a disturbance
In the
forest yesterday. I was like, I think one of the stores near me is going to have it. Just
Were you
that feeling.
at in between house or new house?
In between house.
Okay.
So I went to the liquor store that I had the highest inkling that it would be at. I walk right in, looking through their allocated stuff. Guy behind the counter goes, "You looking for anything in particular?" And I go, "I'm looking for that guy." And sure enough, sitting right there was the cellar aged.
Oh, is this the one that costs a lot?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, $600 for a bottle.
What? It's $150?
It's $175, $180.
Something like that.
Yeah. He goes, I could sell it to you for $550.
You say $200 and you got a deal. He's like, nope.
I said no, and I left.
Did you hold it?
Yes.
Feel good? Yeah.
It's a girthy boy.
Yeah.
I was not excited to have to put it back down.
Okay.
So instead, I went to a store across the street, looked at what they had, and saw that they had Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof on the counter, looked at the date on it, and it was the date of my birthday. So, and this year's birthday, 30th birthday.
Yeah.
So I grabbed a bottle. I was like, I've got to.
What's the proof on that one?
129, I think. It's different. It's definitely different from the one, because you picked up one at Ernie's today.
Yep.
Too. That was also 30th birthday bottle. But yeah, so I started messaging a couple of people being like, have you seen it anywhere? Do you know if anybody's got the cellar aged? And he was like, well, a couple of them went up on our page, and still like 100 over MSRP. And I was like, I just can't. I can't just drop $300 on a bottle right now. And I had to go pick up some stuff from him. We met at Liquor Barn. And he goes, they've got a bottle open in there if you want to go try it.
On the tasting thing?
On the tasting
bar.
And so, yeah, I went in and paid $15 for a pour of
That's not bad.
Maker's Mark Cellar Aged. It was a good pour, too. I mean, it was probably 2 ounces, at least 1.5 ounces.
So?
I need a bottle.
So after having it, what's your max price? Say somebody has
probably $250.
$250.
And I mean, that's essential. So ideally, I think it should have been about $150. $125, $150. It is the most expensive Maker's Mark product ever.
Yeah, I want some. Guess I'm going to go to Liquor Barn.
But it is also the best Maker's Mark I've ever had.
God damn it.
I don't want to spoil too much until we get a bottle to review or a sample or something. But I like we kind of been talking about like this burnout that we've been having recently. And I've kind of been feeling that and kind of just falling out of love with it a little bit. Not to the point where like I'm going to stop doing the podcast or anything, but just,
I'm all out of love.
I'm so lost without you. Anyway, it kind of brought me back to life. It gave me energy again.
Now I need some.
But yeah, if you all have a lead out there or a bottle that you're looking to get rid of, or I don't know, something, please let us know. We got 2 thirsty boys over here.
Paid it's paid. I had it. I made it.
That's why it tastes so good.
I made it. They didn't give me credit because they kicked me out.
Okay.
Bye, buddy. Go wait in the car, please.
I am. It's hot, so you didn't roll the windows down, Perry.
Pete Samuels, everybody. All right. Enough about Maker's Mark. We got stuff to do.
The roses. 10 of them.
Yeah. Couldn't have come up with like 2 more recipes to make it a dozen.
Right. What are you doing?
So I was thinking we go low rye, high rye.
Low rye.
So we'll start with the OESF on this one. Now, this is the first time that I've ever tried all 10 of them. Like, I don't think that I've ever had all of them before.
I don't know. I may have, but I've not had them all separately at the same time to where I can like
Pick one out.
yeah, because it's
Yep.
like you get one, you put it up, you open it up every once in a while, whatever. You're not like I've never brought every bottle of Four Roses down and been like, I'm going through them all today.
April comes downstairs
I'm just
and you're
out.
sitting on the floor with them all around you like a kid with his action figures.
Like yeah. All right.
All right.
Oh,
OESF. This is supposed to be the light oak and mint tasting note.
now I will say, it does taste very light.
Mm.
Now these aren't at barrel strength, of course, but
Yeah, they're all at 104 proof.
yeah.
I don't know why.
Isn't that what the proof of the
Is that small batch select?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
I don't know why they chose that, but
Yeah, it definitely does have a.
it's a lot vanilla to me.
Yeah, it's got this like kind of watered down quality to it.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, but there's a big like spice punch right in the middle of it.
It's like vanilla extract smelling and
Yeah.
tastes very vanilla. Just a lot vanilla.
Good. Definitely not my favorite so far.
Yeah. It's all right.
Oh, there's a little bit of pepper too.
Ooh, the nose on the bee is very
So much better.
very bright.
Tasting notes for this one are delicate rye and mint.
See, this one tastes more bold to me.
Tastes or smells?
I mean, smells more bold. Yeah. That's almost like a cherry. Almost a cherry cola on that.
That just reminds me. That's like more quintessential Four Roses, I feel like.
Yeah, it's kind of floral.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
B is the winner on
B
this one.
here. Yeah, I guess we'll go through and see what our favorites are.
Now mix them together. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. 2 Fs.
Mm.
Do not make it right.
No, sir.
I don't like that. And yes,
Why did that get so weird?
the reason we're not mixing
It's
them
so
all is because we're going to save this, and Perry might do a live stream, or we might do a live stream or something, and then we can blend more. But we're trying to save them.
Yeah,
today.
and we're drinking like quarter-ounce samples.
Yeah.
Of each of these.
We want these to last. We could do a lot of damage with these.
Mm-hmm. We could get in a lot of trouble. So there's 10 bottles. Each of them are 50 mil. That's still 500 milliliters of bourbon.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
All right. The Q, rye and lightly floral.
That's the B. The E is delicate grains and lightly floral.
Ooh. The nose on the E. That's a nice nose.
Oh, it smells like potpourri.
Yeah.
It
it's
definitely
more
smells like
floral.
your grandmother's bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I like it because that's what my bathroom smelled like the whole time I grew up.
Yeah.
Tastes like it too. It's very perfumey.
It's extremely perfuming.
Lightly floral. That's heavy floral to me.
A lot of floral.
Ooh, okay.
Whoa. It is amazing what 15% more rye will do to a recipe. I mean, it just immediately becomes this big, punchy, intense nose.
And it makes sense when you think about it, because like we like that rye spice in like a bourbon, and like, you know, when you got a little bit more corn, you're gonna get more sweetness and stuff like that. And yeah, to knock off a little bit of that floral sweetness and add a little bit of punch is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's good. Now that is more of a bourbon potpourri. Like if there was a bourbon potpourri, that's what it would be.
Oh.
Ooh, that's good.
Oh, that is so good.
It's all on the finish. That's a big finish.
It took a long time to really get to the finish. It was very just kind of vanilla. And I mean that in like the tasting note, not in the derogatory way that people say it. It was just very vanilla up front. And once it got to the finish, and it flipped a switch very quickly too. It just immediately becomes this flavor bomb.
B wins again.
B easily wins.
Mixed together. It's about one drop each mixed together. Actually, I don't mind that one mixed together. The other one I did not like. I don't mind the Qs. That's pretty good. The Qs aren't bad.
That's not bad at all. I'd drink that all day.
Have they ever done, I'm sure they have, it's some special group, probably charity, but where they've let them blend?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Chad and Sarah actually have gone to that before, and it was with Brent Elliott. And
well, I know they did the thing where they made their own like blend and they judged it. But I'm talking about like a group or a store come in and they picked and they're like, you know what? We actually want these two together.
that I do not know.
That would be cool.
I would be as interested, if not more, in being able to do that than just a pick.
Yeah.
I'm so sad too. The one Four Roses pick that I ever went on, it was with OBC. We picked 2 or 3 barrels. I can't remember for sure. I think OBSO was in the lineup too, which is what we're about to move on to, the
our favorites,
the O recipes. Unfortunately, Al Young was not there. I was quite bummed about that.
I remember the first, I don't know.
The 21st night of September?
Yeah. September.
I do too, actually. For a very funny reason about somebody we were just talking about.
No. I remember, I don't remember the recipe, and I don't even know which one it was, but I remember one of the first times I actually purchased a Four Roses single barrel strength. And I just remember how, like, I kind of did that thing where, like, you know, you have something so good and you just sit it down and you just go, ugh. Yeah. Because
everybody knows exactly what you're talking about.
But it's like
we have that moment all the time with the show.
But it's like kind of early on, and I didn't know that it was. I was thinking like it's going to be Four Roses. I'd had the 100 proof one, and it's just such a big difference when you get that shiny gold label and that barrel strength.
It really is. It really is.
I will never forget that. I wish I remembered which one it was. I probably got rid of it. I mean, that was probably 2017.
Well, 18. for anybody who doesn't know this story or, has heard it before and has forgotten it, my first ever Four Roses single barrel strength was at OBC.
Yeah.
And it was OBSO. And I mean, nothing else could have compared to it afterwards. And I was so in love. I tried that and Henry McKenna 10-year for the first time that night.
Brain just exploded.
Life changing. And to the point where I think like within the next week, I went to the big liquor barn over in Hamburg, where I was today, actually tasting the Maker's cellar aged. And it was I think this was actually the first time that I ever asked an employee if they had a particular bourbon.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't Blanton's, it wasn't Weller 12, it was Four Roses single barrel strength. Or if that's not even how it's said, Four Roses single barrel.
They're like, what?
Whatever. And no, the guy that I asked knew what I was talking about. He was like,
Okay.
we actually just ran out. So that tells you a good deal about like what the market was like around this time. I was
getting ready to say that's another good example of something that like stuff would hang around for a little bit. And you could, like, if you heard that it came in, you probably
could take your time.
Yeah, you could probably make it over there to get it even a few days. Now it's another bottle that like you rarely see them, and when you see them, they're gone.
And this was not that long ago. This was like 2015, 2016.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 7 or 8 years ago.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. All right. So like we said, these are our 2 favorite recipes of Four Roses up to this point. That might change after having had all of these side by side. But I'll say this, even though we prefer OBSQ and OBSF over the E's, I don't know if I like either of these better than I do my OBSO.
No, I've not. Neither one of those have hit something that's like, oh, well, this is my new favorite or whatever. So this is the E, right?
Yeah. Tasting note, rich fruit and vanilla on the E, and the B, rich fruit and spice.
Before you smell it or anything. No, I'm not going to say anything. Don't just smell it. And I'll tell you, I know why this is my favorite.
It's like straight up French vanilla, dude.
This is so ice creamy.
Yes.
And it borders like almost like a vanilla with like strawberry syrup. This to me is one of the closest things to like if Four Roses had a weeded.
I completely agree.
And I've always said that. See, dude, that tastes like a weeded bourbon.
I mean, that beats all 4 of the ones that we've already had. Blows it so far out of the water.
It's crazy the difference.
That's a complete game. I wouldn't even think that was from the same distillery.
That's how different they are. I love that one.
Oh my gosh, that is so good. Whew. All right, I'm back in. I was starting to get worried.
Oh boy. All right.
Oh boy.
This is yours. OBSO.
I don't have OBSO very often. The last bottle of OBSO that I had was from the Merrick Inn.
Oh, that was good. I remember that.
That was an amazing bottle.
Rich fruit and spice.
Yeah.
It's Richie, boy. That's a Richie Rich. It's crazy. It is crazy the difference these two are compared to the other ones. Like they were so like mild and kind of like a little bit of spice on like some of the beef. But like they're different animals.
Holy crap, dude.
That's a rich. That's like if you have chocolate on chocolate on chocolate, and it's like, when you have a brownie or something, and you do the whoa, that's rich.
That's
what it smells like.
Dang.
And it tastes like it too.
Oh,
that's a sweet tooth, man. That's chocolate. That's a sexual chocolate. I feel like we're going to be different on these because I think you're going to keep yours. I'm going to keep mine.
I can't change.
These are far superior than the other 4 that we've tried. That's so good. That's a rich chocolate brownie right there.
I'm sticking with the B, man.
And I'm sticking with the E just because I love weeded bourbon. I love my strawberry and vanilla, and that's what it is.
So what have we learned about ourselves up to this point?
We're the same.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. We've stayed the same.
We've learned that we are consistent.
Now let's see. What if they were like, all right, TIMBP, y'all get to blend an OESO and an OBSO.
If I had a prediction, I think this is going to taste like chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream.
Okay.
That's my That's what it smells like.
Oh, it smells like chocolate ice cream. It smells like a sundae to me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's great. That should be a thing.
Why is that not a thing? We just did the fusion dance.
Mm-hmm.
And with our
Fusion.
powers.
And
we're a fat guy.
We're definitely bad.
I was looking at the camera.
Yeah.
We're dead.
I was trying to look. No, I was trying to look at that and do it right.
Yeah.
This is
all right.
great.
We'll try again in 30 minutes. This is. I like this even better than the two of them individually.
This is the total package for sure.
Holy crap, man.
I'm curious to see if anything is that unique. I'm telling you, those
Or good.
O's are just
always the best yeast strain so far.
Now we're on to the K. The OESK is a baking spice and light oak. So we went from rich and all that to now
Big and
we're
rich.
in the bacon. The baking.
And the OBSK is rye and baking spice.
Yep. This is so cool.
I'm so happy we get to do this. This is one of those things where I was like, we're never going to be able to do that. You know? The fact that I just saw that on an email was mind-blowing to me. But then, of course, like, that same day that I saw it on that email, I went into Liquor Barn, and it was there.
Of course.
Now, to be fair, it was like $15 more expensive than what I got it for. But still. Like, I really thought that they were less available than apparently they were. Oh, no. Oh, no, ladies and gentlemen. Eric's made a face.
I don't like that nose on the OESK. I'm just going to be honest. It smells sour.
Kind of smells like a barn or a farm.
Sour, wet hay.
Kinda, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Ew. Tastes like it too. No. That's not good.
Whoa, 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 whoa. No. No, thank you. Whew.
Not a fan of that one.
No. Four Roses, love you to death. That's the first one that we've outright been like, I don't think so.
The B is a little better. I think the spot,
but it's still got that underlying
sour
thing.
It's a sour, a wet sour. It may taste worse. I don't know. I don't like either one of these.
I don't think it tastes worse. I think it tastes on par with the E.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I think they're equally I'm going to be nice. They're equally good. Like they both have about the same level of quality to them.
So far, this is my least favorite, like, pairing. Ugh, I gotta wrinkle my glasses.
Oh, K's not good. Actually, I like the blend of them better than I do. Yeah, I definitely like the blend better than I do the individual. You know what's funny? I had a second where I felt like I was on a barrel pick.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's a podcast.
Right, you know what? Let's mark this one off the list.
Yeah.
We're going to move on. Let's narrow it down.
Does everybody agree? We can take we can take 7 and 8 off the table. I liked your little method there. That was
the V strain. On the E, our tasting notes are delicate fruit and caramel, or caramel, however you like to say it.
And on the B, delicate fruit and rye.
So rye and caramel.
Now, what we were saying before, too, about OBSV being the most common profile that you're going to get from Four Roses. Every 100 proof single barrel that you see on the shelf, the brown label is going to be OBSV. I have always really loved when they're at barrel strength too.
Yeah.
Like consistently,
Oh,
I have not had a bad OBSV single barrel pick.
If I don't see OESO, I'm looking for OBSV barrel strength.
I think I'm in the same boat, honestly.
I think I feel like the infamous Lexington bottle, the Royale.
Oh yeah.
I think that's a OBSV. Okay, we're back. That smells
yes,
like a Werther's.
okay.
That smells like a Werther's. They are spot on the notes. That is caramel or caramel.
Dang, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, that nose is so good. But there's a like a baking spice thing going on too.
I would say
Kind of confectionery-y.
I was going to say there's almost a savory, like
Oh, there definitely is. Yeah.
some kind of like salty, even. I mean, you said baking. I might say a little bacon, bacon and caramel. Oh, that's good. That's a dangerous pour. If you had that at barrel strength, that's dangerous.
I'm getting like a mint punch on the back end.
I just get all it's caramel, savory.
You kind of looked like you were having an episode for a second, and like as you started like leaning,
Oh yeah,
like your brain just cut off. And
my brain did cut off. And if you watch my new review pairing thing, like I did have an episode where I forgot what I was saying and I just stopped, but I don't edit it, so it just looks like I just freaking Mitch McConnell or whatever.
all right, you said it. I was not going to, but
It does. It looks like it.
look, man, regardless of your politics, that's one of the scariest things is watching
Dude's
that
got to retire.
happen. But
He
it's
does
just like,
twice now.
yeah, and like, I don't know, man. Like, and I don't care who you are. Like, you should be worried about a person if something like
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah.
Like, that's terrifying.
Dude,
Anyway,
this
sorry.
OBSV though. That smells
Okay.
delicious. That smells so good.
All right.
That is, I will say, the more I talk about it and I think about it, the more it makes so much sense, because that is the most complete special bourbon nose. Like if you think of bourbon and you're like vanilla, you're like oak, you're like
Yeah.
whatever, caramel, baking spices, that's the most solid bourbon nose.
It's the first one that feels like a limited edition pour.
Yeah.
And it's the first one where I'm really getting barrel char on the nose. Like it really smells smoky.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. That's the most oak note I've got out of anything. That's just classic bourbon. That is your classic special bourbon.
A little burst of red fruit midway through the palate too. A lot of brown sugar. That's freaking awesome.
That's just classic, like you said, a special allocated whatever. That's the one that just is like, this is a special bourbon.
Yeah.
You're not getting, I'm not getting a Little Debbie. note. I'm not getting like the Pop-Tart note. You know what I mean? Like this is the quintessential bourbon right here.
Yeah.
Special bourbon, OBSV.
I mean, here's where I start to run into trouble. I don't know if this is like if I'm just trying to stick to my guns or what, but I don't know if it's enough to dethrone OBSO for me.
No, because I'll look at something. I'm looking a little bit more unique.
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. Oh, this is a rye bourbon, but it tastes like a wheated bourbon. Like to me, I love that.
Yeah.
It's got the sweet, it's got the strawberry and all that. But it's on a different scale to where you're like, oh, this is like, I like a bourbon that's like, you're drinking classic bourbon. You're drinking, like if somebody wants to know what Kentucky bourbon is, they've had Texas whiskey, they've had Scotch, they've had horrible, hidden stuff from a hidden barn.
All the pretense fell away in that very moment, folks. You saw that happen in real time,
and you
decided that you were just not gonna try to code it,
and you just wanted to pour a glass of like, this is a special Kentucky bourbon OBSV. And I have plenty. The thing is, I have a lot of those, though.
Oh man, that's so good together. Sorry. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, that's great too.
I still think O is my favorite. My favorite yeast strain for sure.
This has definitely confirmed to me that OESO is my favorite.
Oh, it's confirmed to me that OBSO is my favorite.
And definitely OBSV is my second.
I think OBSV is my second as well. It sounds very like, I don't know, expected.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we kind of set it up, though, because we told them what we liked, and then we're like, OBSV, we've had some good ones on that.
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, somebody else could have this and be like, OESQ is my favorite, and then they kind of say the same thing. So, like, I think it just shows that we've kind of, we're consistent with our Four Roses.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. If you had to choose one to, like, say you could never get OESO again, what would be your next go-to?
OBSV.
Okay, sorry. After OBSV is gone to, sorry.
I'm taking the K's out completely.
K's, I don't even care.
Which one was the? I think it would have been OBSQ.
I think so too. I mean, I would even consider OESV.
These were not bad. The first four were not bad.
No,
they were very
not at all.
mild, though.
Yeah, it really ramps up and then slams on the parking brake with the K's, and then goes 0 to 60 for the V's somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but man, I'm so happy we got to do this. This was like an exceptional experience. I mean, even with stuff that we didn't like as much, I mean, like now I know, now I have the definitive answer to what my favorite recipe of Four Roses is.
How much? You don't have to say how much you paid for it, but if they said, you know what, we're going to make this, but we're going to make it in a 350, like
A 375?
375. Sorry, everyone owns 375. What would the price be? You think?
Like $700.
Would you do it though?
I would consider it.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate part, is I'm like a sucker for it. Like, maybe. Having gotten to experience it this
Your
way.
mom.
No. Separate hotel rooms. All right. Now that we have that, out of the way is not the right phrase.
Now that we've
experienced
that. Yeah.
We're going to kick things up a notch and go to the 135th anniversary limited edition small batch from Four Roses.
I hope me or April wins the right to buy this.
How many times did you sign up? Twice?
Yes.
I did twice as well.
Well, I didn't have anybody else that was over the age that I could put in. I was like, can I put my daughter? And
But you can still use like your name.
Oh.
You just got to have different emails.
Do I still have time?
Probably.
I've got a Whiskey Mutton email and a personal email.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah.
Okay, I might have to make one more.
Um,
Look at this.
a beautiful Glencairn with the Four Roses logo. This is one of my new favorite Glencairns
I
now.
want to just showcase the box because the box actually shows you like the information on that.
It's focused now.
I mean, that's so cool. Like, not only do they put a letter in there, but they put it on the box so you can just set it up like this and just look at it. Oh my God.
All right.
Recipe 1.
Yeah. Did you not know that?
I have not looked at any of this.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a second. I want to read the little insert that comes with this, like from the desk of Brent Elliott. It's that exciting time.
Pour it up for us.
Yeah, please. It's that exciting time of year again at Four Roses when we release our annual limited edition small batch bourbon. This year, we are celebrating our 16th limited release, as well as an important milestone, our 135th anniversary. Every year, when we share our limited edition small batch bourbon, I get to reflect on what sets us apart from the rest, which are our 10 recipes and our commitment to creating quality bourbon meant to be sipped and enjoyed amongst friends and family. This year, more than ever, on the heels of our first brand refresh in nearly 2 decades, the care our team puts into each bottle is particularly top of mind. We hope you can feel our long-lasting passion with every sip. I am excited to share this year's unique blend of 4 exceptional batches that have been hand-selected and contribute to the rich and complex flavors of this bourbon. We hope that you enjoy this bourbon as much as I enjoyed making it. We're thrilled to have you be one of the first to give it a try. Cheers, Brent Elliott.
First.
Why don't you go through the ingredients?
This is new
here.
to me because I've not looked at any of this. I'm going to go in order what I think is special here. OESV, which was the one we didn't like the most?
K.
K?
K.
Okay.
Yeah, K.
OESK, there's a 14-year in here. OESV, there's a 12-year. Then he went OESV again for a 16-year. So that's good. We both loved OESV. And then he said, let me come out a swinging. Recipe 1, a 25-year OBSV.
Now,
25 years of OBSV.
so first of all, of course, we love OBSV as we've discovered more and more as time goes on. This is the oldest Four Roses that has ever been put into a blend and that we've ever been able to try.
25-year-old OBSV.
25 years old. Back in 2019, I think it was, I got to interview Brent Elliott. It was a really good episode if you want to go back and listen to it. And it was right around the time that year's small batch LE was coming out. I can't remember if this made it onto the episode or not, but I got to try the individual components of
That
what
year's.
went into that blend.
Which year was
that
it?
year? 2019.
I have the 19.
Do you really?
Yeah. I have 19, 20. Nope. Sorry. Take that back. I have 22, 21, and 20.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right.
But I think I have a sample of it. I do have a sample of it.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where it is?
Yeah, it's right over there. I have 16, 17, 18, and 19.
Dang.
Yeah. Shout out to our boy Dexter.
Oh, snap. Of course Dexter has all those.
When he was kind of moving away from his place at Merrick, he had some bottles of his own that he was sampling out, and I got some an LE flight from him. So yeah, I have that one. So
It's up to you.
I think we got to focus on
I think we
this.
got to focus on this. This is exactly right. We've had enough bourbon at this point. All right.
All right.
Let's see what it smells like.
Let's cheers before we even smell it. Like, smell it and tell it. Sure. Did we just go into Cracker Barrel? Because I smell gravy. I smell biscuits. And I smell strawberry jelly. This smells like gravy and strawberry jelly biscuits. Oh. And it smells special. Like, that's the main thing. It smells
limited. It
Yeah.
smells like a limited edition exclusive special bourbon.
Yep.
Wow.
It does. It smells like sawmill gravy, homemade biscuits, and strawberry jelly. And it smells special.
I don't even really have tasting notes or nosing notes on it right now because I'm so blown away by how intensely rich and vibrant this is.
It's all those V's.
It's got to be the fees.
It's got to be the V. Got to get that V. Dang, dude.
Should we?
Cheers again.
Cheers again.
Now we can.
Dink it and sink it.
This is special. This is real special. Oh, the finish. Oh my God. I hadn't even got to the finish when I said that. Oh, that strawberry biscuit, man. The finish is great. The whole thing's great, but like there's something on that finish, and it turns into like savory. It's like a salty, I don't even know, some kind of salty candy with like a sweet filling.
I want to say this. The only other time,
Let him cook.
let me cook, that I have had a reaction to a bourbon like this was when we had the Wilderness Trail 8-year rye bourbon. I'm having that same like intense emotional connection to it where I'm like, this is what I have wanted every sip of bourbon to taste like.
And
And it reminds me why I started loving bourbon in the first place, why I started doing a podcast about it in the first place. It just brings, it's the same way I felt about the Wilderness Trail 8-year high rye bourbon and the same feelings that I was getting with the Maker's Mark Cellar Aged earlier today. This is not only a game changer for people, this will make you feel like the missing piece of the puzzle has been found and it's complete.
so if you're watching the video version and you saw me put my finger up and start to say something, and then I just kept,
Because I said exactly what you were thinking.
because I was getting ready to say, this is the epitome of what a special Kentucky bourbon should taste like. And you just kept saying it over and over. What's special about bourbon? What's special about this? Like, there's not like a weird, unique note that just like, oh, Eric loves, weird stuff or whatever. This is oaky, sweet, and just special. You know what I mean?
It's so special.
Yeah. I put my finger up there and I started just
Wagging. He just
I was
wagged.
wagging around, and I was agreeing with everything because I was getting ready to say, this is what's special about bourbon. This bourbon sticks its middle finger up to Texas whiskey and Scotch and all that stuff and says, this is the whiskey. And I stand by that. And you can clip that and post it all day long.
This is the best bourbon we've had all year.
No doubt.
I mean, without question, not only is it the best bourbon we've had all year, it's the best new release that we've had all year.
I mean, Four Roses Ellie always is great. We love it. Didn't we? We said it's almost our favorite or has been our favorite, but like
it's always so close. It's always got just that little something is missing. And it's not like they can always put 25-year OBSV into a recipe.
And maybe that's the key, though.
But I think it just needs something older to really help round out what makes it special. Not only is this the best thing that we've had this year, this is the best Four Roses I've ever had.
I thought that 20-year.
20-year, Al Young, the single barrel limited edition they did a while ago was incredible as well. I mean, there are some fantastic products out there.
Man.
But like far and away right now.
I'm rocking the baby right now. I gotta get a bottle of that.
I have to. I mean, this is it, man. Dang. You know what's crazy? I haven't had a second sip yet.
I think I had a second sip.
What if I go back for the second sip and I'm like, that's trash?
You know what I hate? Losing the lottery to
I never sick of it. I never get like actually upset about losing those lotteries. I'm gonna be upset this year if I don't get this bottle.
Be waiting on the road down Lawrenceburg.
My God.
So good.
When we started getting samples for the podcast,
Take it back.
way back, I don't even remember what the first sample was that we got. I had this vision of like being able to go back and look at all the samples, because I like typically will save samples like this that get sent.
Yeah,
because
we'll go year end.
Yeah, exactly. Or just to be able to like go back and look at it. And, you know, part of it is the collector in me, especially to be like, this is something that not many people have, you know? And it, like, there's no like actual value to it other than for me to just look back on it and be like, that was really nice that I got that.
Heck yeah, dude.
You know? But this, again, just brings me back to like those old feelings of why I love bourbon in the first place. And it's not to get drunk or have access to special bottles. It's just having something that I really enjoy.
This interaction, right?
This exact experience of just being like, that is so good. Like I think that the more that your vocabulary grows as a bourbon drinker and the more things that you have to try, the less likely you are to say things like, I've never had anything like that before. Yeah. I've never had anything like this before.
Did we even say the proof?
No, we did not.
This is barrel strength. 112.
It doesn't need any more. It doesn't need any more. It doesn't need any less.
That's crazy.
I think it's perfect the way it is.
That's crazy.
Dang, man.
20 out of 20. I'm saying it.
Okay, here's where I want to talk about it for a second. The price is $200.
Yeah. That's cheap for this.
Actually, yeah, you're right. It is cheap for that. It's a 20 out of 20.
This is a $300 bottle of bourbon.
Oh my gosh.
If somebody put two, if I had the money and it wasn't going to affect my bills and all this, and if I had $400 extra and somebody put two of them in front of me and said, you can have both of these for MSRP, I would say, here's $400. And then I would give one to you and say,
I'd pay you back.
I would say, you don't have to pay me in money, but you can do some other stuff.
You want me to leave Pete over here?
Tell Pete to do his thing. No, but I'm just saying, like, $200 to me, if you get it for that, if you win the right to buy it at Four Roses and you get charged $200, you're getting a steal. It was almost that price for the single barrel 20-year that I have. It was like $190 or something, $180. This is a steal at $200. This is one of the few bottles that I would say is worth more than $200.
I need this so bad, dude.
Well, you got this much left.
2023 has broken my bourbon budget.
Didn't break mine. I stopped buying.
Oh,
now I'm
true.
ready to go.
Well, I just mean
I'm ready to whip out all my extra money.
It's just one of those years where it's like things kind of keep popping up. Like, I gotta have that. I need that. I really want a bottle of that. Like, it just, anyway.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean,
100% a 20 out of 20.
For the sake of the show, nose smells amazing.
Oh,
5.
nose, palate, finish, and price is each category. Final scores out of 20.
Yes. Nose, phenomenal. Smells like a special bourbon. It smells like Cracker Barrel to me. Not the gift shop part of Cracker Barrel, but when you sit down and they're giving all the food out. Palate, just like Perry said, it's a special bourbon. It's got everything classic bourbon needs, but it amps it up to like the allocated, like special release, and you know it's special when you taste it. The finish is phenomenal. It's only, what do we say, 112 proof?
Yeah. Yeah.
It drinks, the finish is like almost like when you have and I'm sorry if you've not experienced this, but when you have a hazmat older bourbon that's special, the finish is like a different experience. It's like
Hazmat?
Yeah. Like a WLW.
Oh, I thought you meant, okay. I thought what you meant was like a 20-year-old hazmat.
No.
I was like, that exists?
No. I'm saying when you have a special hazmat bourbon, the finish is not what you'd think. It's not like a finish that's going to like blow your chest and belly out. Yeah. It's like a very like special. It's almost like it eases you into it. It doesn't just hit you really fast. It's like the flavor just keeps going and going and going. And this is not hazmat. This is far from it, but it has the same experience to me.
Yeah.
You get it and you're like, oh, okay. And then it kind of sits there and then a little bit more. Oh, there's a little bit of that gravy. There's a little bit of that biscuit. And then it just keeps going. The finish just keeps going and going and going. And I usually only get that with like a hazmat.
I've never sat like this on the podcast before. It looks like I'm presenting.
Yeah, I mean, you're whipping that dick out right now.
There's a part of this too that is like so relaxing.
Yeah, it is relaxing. I think that's what it is. The finish is not like a punch you in the gut or the chest. It's a very like, just ease back. The finish is just going to like, it's going to relax you. It's going to just go over and over. And the price, like I said, like $200 is a lot. And I've went on and on and on for the past couple of months about prices of bourbon and stuff. But this is something that is worth the price. I would pay extra for this. I would buy 2 at MSRP. Like, I can't say anything bad about this. There's nothing I can say bad about this.
Only that I wish there was more.
Only that I probably won't get one unless I pay secondary.
Yeah.
That's the only bad thing. But
talk to your rich neighbor.
That's a good idea. But
I'm full of ideas.
yeah, but
They're not all good, but
if it's presented in front of me at the price they want us to buy it at, this is a 20 out of 20. It is. It's a 20
I
out of 20.
completely agree. And just, really past like the quality of this bourbon. And I mean, it is a very high quality product. The experience of it, I think, really is what sets it apart for me more than anything. So,
like, I would love to share this with somebody.
oh, absolutely.
Like, I'm going to enjoy it, but this is something I want to have on hand just so I can share it with somebody. So, who knows what'll happen? I don't know. I hope to get one. If I have the money, I will pay extra for this. Maybe I'll win the lottery to buy it. Maybe I'll win the lottery.
Maybe you'll win the lottery and you can
then
just...
I can buy us all bottles.
What's the first bottle of bourbon you would buy if you won the lottery? Right now it's this one, but
yeah, but if it like I could just type in something and they had it, probably the first like cheesy gold foil, the first ever.
Mine would be Turkey 101.
You just buy a whole supply of it.
Lifetime supply.
Lifetime supply. Of Turkey 101.
I actually don't know what mine would be.
You put me on the spot, and I just thought, like, you imagine the first one, but it was the bottle that Jimmy Russell had that he didn't like give to anybody, like his personal one. He was like, "This is the best one ever."
We get the chance every now and then to try like pre-prohibition bottles. I would want that, but at cast strength.
Just a barrel.
Because that's something I've never gotten to try before. We're always getting 80, 86, 90, 100, but we never get barrel proof pre-prohibition bottles of bourbon.
Yeah.
So
you could look into the future and it was a 25-year-old barrel strength Turkey 101.
A 25 year, but it can't be barrel strength and
you know
101.
what I mean. It's barrel proof wild turkey, 25-year-old. Set in the corner that Jimmy just loved on.
It's been letting sit.
Yeah.
Get this.
Just get it.
Just get it. If you see it, buy a bottle. If you see it and you don't want it, buy a bottle for a friend. I mean,
if you see it and you don't want it, buy it for me. I'll pay you back.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, that's what I mean.
If you don't even like me, you can buy it and I'll pay you back the money. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay. I mean, there's so many different ways to
I'll share
go
it with
about
my friends.
This. All right. Well, we're gonna move on from there. We have a barrel ring this week.
Oh, let's hear it.
That is a thing that we do on this show where you can call a phone number, and that phone number is 859-428-8253.
428.
859-428-8253. And you can be on the show.
Yeah.
We'll play that voicemail here on the show. And here's the thing. I think what keeps people from calling in is stage fright.
It's me, isn't it?
It's not you.
Okay.
It's stage fright. And I understand, but here's the thing. We're all
It's fine.
just trying. We're just trying.
Just
okay?
have fun.
Just have fun.
Whatever you want.
Just have fun with it.
You can edit it out later. Like if you say too many.
Absolutely.
If you say fuck. He can edit it out. If I've already said that and we don't want to go over our limit, he can edit it out. Don't worry about it.
Thanks for the reassurance there, homie.
Yeah.
I mean, surely you've listened to that A Brief History of TIMBP episode where Todd called in drunk.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And
I hope you have.
I edited all that together. That was a great time.
So just do it. Get on there.
Yeah. Anyway. Do you have a guess as to who sent in this one?
Bill. Wisconsin Bill, beer lover.
What's going on, boys? This is Bill. I am at Panera Food or Panera Bread. getting me something to drink, and I got to thinking I should give you guys a ring. Wanted to talk a little bit about something that just came out from Driftless Glen. Now, they are one of my favorite distilleries in Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel about this next release.
Uh-oh.
It is bourbon that has been finished in barrels that previously held vanilla extract.
I'm in.
Now, this ain't no good times kind of thing going on here, but I'm a little sketched out by this. So
Why?
I'm going to be up in that area this weekend. I am going to give that thing a try, and I am going to hope that it is not the abomination that it sounds like. Anyways, hope you all have a great day, a great weekend. This is my kids' first day of school, so we are officially back on school schedule,
Me too.
which is nice. It's nice to have some structure in our lives.
No.
And yeah, look forward to hearing the next episode, talking to you guys soon. Love you, bro. Love you, bro.
Love you too.
Love you, bro. Love you, boys.
Love you,
bro.
Bill.
This is
Love
what happens
you.
when you try to say boys and
Love
or
you
bro
like
in the
a
same sentence.
cheeseburger.
That's just freaking fantastic. All right, bye.
I don't know.
Something about Texas?
You were talking too much.
I know. He started saying love you, so I felt like I had to say it back.
So yeah, this new Driftless Glen.
Why is that sound
Finished in-
bad?
I think it just is that it sounds weird.
Okay,
It's unexpected.
that's fine.
It's not 25-year-old OBSV for
No,
Four
it's
Roses.
not. But it's a brand that we know puts out good stuff, and they did something weird. Good Times is a brand that just does that shit all day long, and we've seen videos of them doing whatever. This is a brand, and they said, you know what? Do you think people who went to what? Oh my God, my brain is farting. Belle Meade. What's the distillery? Greenbrier.
Yeah. Yep.
They do the honey thing all the time. Do you think that if they did like a vanilla extract barrel, that nobody would be lined up on the edges to get it, and people wouldn't be making videos and Instagram lives about it? No, because they're a brand they trust.
All right. I'm going to propose a topic for next week's episode.
Okay.
That way we can have time to think about it and we can come back with some ideas.
Okay.
And we're going to be asking the question, has finishing gone too far?
Okay. I already know the answer.
We'll
my
see.
answer.
We'll
My
see.
answer.
I
My
think that
answer.
I think that there are two very distinct sides to this. Maybe three.
Yeah.
So
3.
next,
My Daily Bourbon. Since he does that all day long.
I'm jealous of him. I'm not gonna lie.
Not that jealous of him. But I'm just saying, like, I don't feel like if a brand like Driftless Glen does that you shouldn't think it's going to be an abomination, because that brand is trusted.
Yeah, and yeah, I completely
And I'm
agree with
kind
that.
of curious, and I kind of want it.
Here's where I think part of this conversation starts to take shape, and it's a weird, it's kind of a weird thing to posit, but at some point you do have to ask yourself, like, what would you think about a big brand like Four Roses coming out and being like, yeah, we finished this in vanilla extract barrels?
I want it because I know the bourbon is already good.
I get that. But I just,
Do
I don't know
like,
if it's...
Do I like finishing? No, I'm over it. And that's a preview for next week. But if I trust the company that's doing it, I'm probably going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
So I'll end it there so we can have a conversation for next week.
Yeah. There's more to that.
Bill, give me a sample.
High proof hot takes. Anything that you got on your mind that you're feeling particularly spicy and saucy about?
No, it's been the same stuff. Somebody yelled at me
In the parking
in
garage?
the parking lot. Not the garage, but the parking lot. They were like,
That's so stupid.
they were like so far away, and I just decided to go ahead and pull out. And they yelled at me like, slow down, like I had pulled out in front of them. I had plenty of time. I'm like, what? And it made I just slammed my brakes, and I was like, what'd you say? And they just kept going. It's parking lot. Calm down in the parking lot. Everybody just calm down in the parking lot. That's it.
Yeah. Stop tailgating me.
Oh,
Stop tailgating
you got
me.
a bumper sticker?
No,
Okay.
I'm not a bumper sticker guy. Do you know how unsafe it is to just get feet away from somebody in front of you? I have a toddler. Like,
He's got a baby on
I've got a
board.
baby on board. Please be careful. You don't know who's in the vehicle in front of you. If I suddenly have to stop, she's going to receive the first part of the impact.
Yeah.
Not me,
No.
her. Don't tailgate me. It's easy. It's an easy part of driving. You don't have to go that fast. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
That's it.
That's a good point.
I'm done.
Okay.
Tips and bits. I'm going to give you the floor because you have something you really want to talk about
Yes.
this week.
I'm going to say anime to live action adaptations do not have a good record as far as like
Yeah.
good. There's not been a lot of good
I mean, the
ones.
last one that we really talked about was Cowboy Bebop, and that was not.
It was a failure. So, as of right now, One Piece live action on Netflix has been released. And if you've not been watching us or seen posts from me, you've not noticed that I wear One Piece shirts all the time. I've watched the anime ever since it came out in America. There's currently a 1,077 episodes out now, not counting movies. I've watched them all, and I love it. It's one of my favorite animes, so I was very nervous when they said they were going to do a live-action One Piece. But I started getting a little hope because the creator and writer of the original anime and manga was part of the production, and he would watch it and he would say they needed to reshoot, or he did not let them put stuff out until it met his like expectations. And I am happy to say, after the first 4 episodes, there are 8 in the first season, that this is probably one of the best anime to live action adaptations.
Let me ask you something.
Ask me.
How do I want to phrase this? Do you think that the worst part of the adaptation is the guy that they got to play Usopp? Because I don't think that he's as good as the actual.
Okay, that's fair.
I've seen 6 of the 8 episodes.
That's fair.
I started binging it yesterday. Holy crap. I'm having so much fun with it.
That's a good point.
I haven't even told you this yet.
No, we have not talked about it.
For a long time, I would read when I had a subscription to Shonen Jump. I would read One Piece off and on. I've seen a few episodes of the anime, not nearly as much as you have, of course. But it's always been one of those that's like stuck in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
And like enough to where I was sitting there going like, oh, they got it.
Yeah.
They really got it. But Usopp
Okay.
is
I'll give you that one.
horrible.
I'll give you that one.
He's the worst part of the show.
I'll give you that
A
one.
character who is supposed to be over the top and goofy, and like they just like completely gloss over his like what compulsive lying.
Yeah.
Like it just is like, oh yeah, he does that, but we don't really make a big deal out of it. But that's like his character trait in the early parts of the story.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal. And that's the thing. That's the big difference is this is a 1,000+ episode anime, which the first parts take place over like 30 to 40 episodes, and they are having to compress it down.
Yeah.
So there are things like Zoro and Luffy's relationship does not feel as impactful in the adaptation as it does in the anime, because you see them like form this like captain and vice captain relationship really early on.
I will say this though, within the context of the show and having seen a couple more episodes than you have, you are literally like an episode away from that happening.
Yeah.
So I mean it's not lost. It's just being done in a different context.
Right. And I get that. Like I could totally see that because they have to do it in a different like time frame and route than the anime.
Yeah.
They don't have that time.
Yeah.
I know it's going to happen, but you know, when they're at a part in the live adaptation, like you kind of already felt it in that part in the anime. But that's beside the point because I understand they can't put that many things into an 8-episode thing.
Yeah, it kind of feels like right now what they're doing is taking, you know, like collected volumes of the manga and making that into one episode.
Right.
And I think
you have to do that.
Yeah, and I think as a whole, it's really working. I mean, I love the guy that plays Luffy.
Oh.
I think Zoro is perfectly adapted
Agreed.
to the
Even
screen.
I was even worried about Nami because I was like, I don't know.
Her
if
boobs aren't big enough.
Well, that happens. That happens after the time skip, Perry. We have time for that. There's a 2-year time skip. We have time for that. But she's great. I mean, like you said, Usopp, like, I'm not going to say anything, but I agree.
Anything that hasn't been said already.
Right. But Luffy, just like
so good, man.
Just like the creator said, like he couldn't think of anybody better. That kid does it. Zoro does it. Freaking Sanji, Nami. It's just like and One Piece is such a wild and like weird animated manga drawn thing that you would never think it would work. But they literally find people that look like these people.
They did. And if like you're worried about like the weirdness factor not getting a proper seat at the table, don't worry. Episode 2 is bonkers.
Yeah.
It goes off the rails so quickly and is so
buggy.
It's
so buggy.
You know what I think it truly does feel like though is even though they use these kind of like hokey or cheesy camera tricks with it, those are anime angles.
Yeah.
They're manga angles and that's what helps like elevate it to this fantasy level that other anime adaptations into live action have just not fully embraced.
Yeah.
And this does it.
Yeah.
This does it so successfully. The whole thing of like, it's such a trope. A character speaking and you only see them from like the nose up. Their mouth is cut off and like there's like a dark, kind of like shadow around their eyes, top and bottom. They do that.
Yeah.
And they do it
good
really well. It doesn't feel cheesy or overly.
It's such a beautiful
produced.
Looking show.
Oh, it's so
colors
pretty.
And like characters.
It's gorgeous.
Actors are great. The sound effects are great. The music is great. Like, I'm so happy. I was so worried when this was first announced, and I did not watch any trailers. Like, if you've listened, that's what I always say. No more trailers, no more previews, nothing. And I'm so happy. I've been dying to keep watching because like every episode I'm like, I'm just happy. Like I'm watching this and I know that it's not the anime, but it's staying true to the anime and everything looks like it. And they're compressing it in a way to where you can watch it in 8 episodes. And I've been so happy with this.
Yeah. I've really, really enjoyed it. I'm glad that I got to kind of hide from you too, that I had been watching it. And I kind of was like, do I tell him ahead of time and I have always just loved, and there's something about the like childlike protagonist of Japanese art that I love.
Yeah.
It's why I enjoy Goku as a main character in
it's just like
Dragon Ball
he's
so
like,
much.
He's so like
they're so similar.
He's so just like
so
he doesn't care what
similar.
anybody's saying. He's smiling. He's like, I'm going to be the king of the pirates, and people are like, you're crazy. And he's just like, what? There's nothing. I can dream that. I can do that. I
I'll
can
never
be the king
keep
of the
anybody
pirates.
from their dream.
Even, yeah. And he's like, he's not going to be the pirate that is like just goes and destroys things and steals things. He's going to be, like he said, a different type of pirate.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of my favorite animes of all time. And I'm so happy that this live adaptation has done it justice.
It's incredible. I don't think that you even need to be a fan of the anime or manga
I think you could
to
enjoy this.
Yeah, I think that it's
this
very
is for anybody.
Yeah, it's very accessible. I don't really have anything else just because I've spent so much time
I'm
thinking
so happy
about
that you liked it too. I feel so
Dude,
more relieved.
I've loved it. I mean, like I had to stop myself from watching it last night so
it's
I could
just
go
a
to bed.
fun, like right now it's like episode by episode by episode, and it's like a new thing. Like so far, like
Yeah, it's kind of like the phrase is monster of the week.
yeah,
kind
like,
of thing.
here's the new pirate,
like the way that
here's the new-
Smallville
yeah.
was, the way that Buffy was. It's got that kind of vibe to it, but not in a way where it doesn't feel like the characters aren't progressing.
Yeah.
Like there is a lot of growth and there's a lot of story development that happens, especially within the first 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And I've got 2 left to go in the season. But I'm I'm a really big fan of it, dude. And it makes me excited to go back and read the manga again for the first time in literally like 2 decades.
It's so good.
I actually just I saw on Facebook Marketplace somebody was selling the full it was like a box set of every collected edition of the original Dragon Ball manga. So I just was like,
Here you go.
yeah, I'm gonna buy that.
Buy it now.
I'm gonna buy that. It's my favorite anime, my favorite manga.
Yeah.
And so I was, I couldn't say no. So
Now you got a place to display it.
Yeah, dude. I'm in full like weeb mode at the moment.
It feels good. I like it.
But yeah, One Piece is phenomenal. I feel like I had something else I was going to say about it, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. Yeah, fun. Oh, you know what it was? Who's the shark captain?
Oh, for the shark pirates?
Yeah.
That has the nose?
Yeah.
Can't think. I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think he looks a little weird, but I don't know how you would exactly adapt that into live action.
I think the thing that's different is in the anime, like he's a very like strong looking guy. He's tall.
And he does look tough. He's got a real tough look about him.
The thing about One Piece stuff is some of the characters look almost giant.
Yeah.
When you compare them to like Luffy and Nami and stuff like that.
Yeah, but Buggy was nothing like he looks like. Well, I mean, not nothing, but he doesn't have the same like stature that he does.
It's
in
the
the
statures
in the
and
manga.
stuff.
Yeah.
It looks different.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, good stuff, dude.
Good stuff.
I'm having a fun time with it. But I think that does it for this week.
That's an episode.
It was a huge episode.
You know what else is huge? What we show on Patreon.
Oh.
If you want to go to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast, you can subscribe and you can support for as little as $1 a month. But at $5, you get all the bonus stuff. You get the extra stuff we do. You get this episode uncut. You can hear what we talked about when we took a break because we had just jumped through 10 recipes of 4 roses. But yes, you get all the extra stuff, all the bonus stuff. That's where you get the most content. Patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. Subscribe at the $5 tier. If you want to send us a message, an email, ask us a question, anything like that, send an email to thisismybourbonshop@gmail.com. If you want to get some merch, bourbonshop.threadless.com. If you want to get some Whiskey Mutant merch, that's where I got stuff like Pair Everything and pour overs and all that stuff. whiskeymutant.shopify.com.
It's myshopify.com.
What he said. If you want to go to social media, you can follow the show at MyBourbonPod. You can follow Perry at Peter1792. You can follow me at Whiskey Mutant. Then go subscribe to the show. Go to YouTube, follow, hit the bell, like, comment, all that stuff. You can get this episode video versioned on YouTube. And then just tell people about us. Just, who would you like them to tell? You're looking at a listener right now in the face.
I forgot a thing. Sorry.
What?
You should have reminded me. We have a new patron.
I knew that. I was waiting for you to say it.
Okay. Well, you should have said something.
Tell people about us. Tell your grandma. Tell your mommy, daddy, all that stuff. And then,
What I would like for you to say to them is, for an hour a week, you get to listen to two best friends talk about a common love that they have, which is
anime.
We're pivoting to this is my anime podcast. TIMBP.
And whiskey. We like to drink whiskey and watch anime.
No, but I mean, truly, this friendship started with bourbon. And then everything else just kind of fell into place. And that's been really fun to explore together. And we get the chance to, partially because we've committed to it and also because we just really enjoy each other's company.
Yeah.
But like an hour a week, we sit down and we just catch up with each other and we drink through some really interesting, sometimes new products. Not always good, but sometimes they get the best possible score that they can get.
Yeah.
That we give. And it's just, my elevator pitch is, if you like to laugh and you like to learn, but you also like to feel like you're a part of the conversation,
You're right here with us.
This Is My Bourbon Podcast is the show for you.
Yeah.
Ding.
There it is. Clip it.
Also, new patron at the $5
I knew this
tier,
already.
which means that they get all
the shit.
beautiful bonus content. Early access to episodes, pregame chats, which come out before every single episode, and then a bonus thing that comes out every week as well. This gentleman has joined the clan.
We went through it together.
It's Kirk Hudson.
Kirk,
Thank you so much for joining the Patreon, by the way.
did I tell you about the time me and Kirk were in a Naked and Afraid thing?
No, you did not, but I am ready to listen.
So if you've ever done like a Warrior Dash or like one of those 5Ks where you do all this stuff, there's also one that you do like you're surviving. So you have to find your own meat. So, it's probably easier to do it with a friend. So there was a Naked and Afraid meat off thing where we were alone. Like there was like 10 other people, but our love of bourbon and this podcast brought us together. We're like, oh, you like that and like that.
It's good to know that the community is so far-reaching.
And they thought that we didn't have anything, but there are places to hide sample bottles. And Kirk had 3 hid. So we had some great samples together.
What was in there?
So he had a Booker's Tank Batch.
Naturally.
He had a Buffalo Trace, Hancock's Reserve in there. All the way up. It was a Hancock all the way up in there. And then he just had some Wild Turkey 808.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he didn't bring
It was an 808.
I'm surprised he didn't bring the Wild Turkey cheesy gold oil
No.
either.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, fair enough.
Anyway, we had some great samples that he had hidden.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good
man. So we went on a hunt together.
Oh, you did something together.
Yeah. We went on a hunt together. We found
Milk lemonade.
We found some squirrels. We found some pigs. And he actually took it upon himself to get that meat with his bare hands. And then I cooked it because I like to smoke the meats and all that stuff.
I mean, once you've had a man's anal samples, you have to do something.
Yeah, so I
for him.
smoked Kirk's meat and we shared it together. And then he said, you know what? For that, $5 a month, I'm joining.
You're a gentleman and a scholar, Kirk.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry.
Taint batch.
Really sorry that this story went on for so long. But actually, it's not really my fault. So
It's your fault.
thanks for being here. And thank you so much for watching, listening, enjoying the show as you do every single week. It means the world to us. This has been a great episode. If you're here for the first time too, hope to see you again next week. But until then, I'm Perry.
I'm still in this bottle of Four Roses.
And this is my Bourbon
I'm
Podcast.
Whiskey.
I already ended the show.